guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Ada, your online therapist. How are you doing? How's your weekend? How's your week been so far? I mean, it's incredible how we are handling coronavirus surge and everything. So guys, I'm going to be talking about emotions, particularly how we can balance emotions, how you can understand emotions, how you can manage them where possible, and how to deal with it or confront them. Okay? So I'm going to be cooling my reference, or I should say my reference was Dr. Paul Ekman's Atlas of Emotions. Very interesting. You should check it out. Atlas of Emotions by Dr. Ekman. Oh, don't forget, his daughter, Dr. Eve Ekman, also works with it. Like, that is so super awesome, guys. So, back to this discussion. So, when you talk about emotions, remember when we talked about REBT, rational emotive behavior in therapy. That is the science of the mind. Now, when we talk about emotions, they can be pretty elusive. You feel one thing, but it's not the source. Remember, sometimes you experience things, but the emotions that you react was not triggered by that situation. So what's happening? Well, guys, the truth or the key drawback about emotion is that they help you solve a problem, but they never tell you the trigger. So how do you avoid misplaced emotions? Ever heard about someone say misplaced anger, passive aggressive? Okay, now if someone was to stomp on your feet or foot, you know, you're coming out of a subway or you're heading into a building, someone bumps into you and doesn't apologize, you know, you might be the non-reactive type, you know, the non-expressive type, and you just feel upset, like, really? Excuse me, you just bumped into me, and the person's like, oh, I'm sorry. Now, the situation has been resolved. But what if the person just looks away and like what? You know, that could get you upset. Now, if you did not say, that's pretty rude of you, you don't just bump into people and don't apologize. Anyway, it's not you. Well, the other way around, like, well, too bad. You could decide, however, not to express it and just bottle it all up inside and just be like, rude, what a jerk, you know. The problem with that is you've not expressed it because you've not confronted the situation, you've not tackled the situation, you've not confronted the perpetrator of your displeasure. Let's put it that way. The trouble with not confronting the situation, because in the course of your day, you are going to have people, things, situations that are going to tap on your nerves. I like to call it tap on your nerves. Now, in a situation where you do not confront these things, you do not address them head on. I mean, this is not to say that you should address everything. You know, you should feel bad about everything. Mosquito bite, wind in your hair, too much sun. There's a lot of things you don't need to address. Well, not necessarily with such an emotional response. However, emotions, they solve a problem, okay? Because your emotions tell you, especially their emotions are there as defense mechanism. They are there as an offensive. You know, a lot of the things we think are just normal. These are biological and chemical reactions. And the human body, no matter how evolved we are, our emotions are still very, very basic because these are survival responses, and the body is evolved, but it's still evolutionary, if I should call it that way. What do I mean by this? Now, when you respond to a situation, how you respond to it could be from a personal experience in the past, or it can even be as far back as evolutionary response. Remember when we talk about our ancestors being afraid of tigers, lions, and bears? If you were to see a bear, you will be so scared. Like, have you ever tried, like, kids who are scared of clowns? Like, you know, there are things that you're just naturally afraid of. You don't know what it is. And actually, one funny thing about people is what people don't understand that they are afraid of. This is typically found in situations where you are introduced to a new environment, you don't know anybody, nobody knows you. They are very skeptical about, approaching you, except for the very truly brave and extroverted people. When you are in a new environment, most people will not approach you because they consider you biologically a threat, or no, psychologically a threat. Why? The unknown is a threat. What is known has a known response in the body. What is unknown has no known response. So what is the only response we give it? Fear. Now, we're not talking about that. That's a whole different discussion. So what happens when you have repressed emotions from unresolved issues? Well, guess what? You are inviting the biggest of them all, anger. What happens when you are angry? When you take actions when you are angry, you could have what is called an emotional outburst. People say, I lost my head. I don't know what came over me. It just happened. Some people say it was the devil. He would rather beg to differ. But in any way, when we talk about your emotions, it's very important that as you go through your day, you are present and are able to identify things that cause you distress. And distress, don't forget, there's eustress, which is a positive stress, and distress, which is a negative stress, as we defined in my previous or earlier video. Now, when you are feeling an emotion that has nothing to do with what just happened, you need to realize that you have an unresolved issue. And that is not healthy, because someone steps on your foot and someone starts to really yell hard. Now, remember, the first reaction was like, excuse me. It's like you're giving them the opportunity to apologize. The reasonable people will apologize. The ones with issues will be a jerk. So you already know that it has nothing to do with me, because that is the inappropriate response to the situation. How do you know that you are emotionally healthy and stable? By having the appropriate response to the situation. People with road rage have a lot of bottled up emotions that are not being taken care of. They have not addressed a whole slew of issues in their lives. And guess what? Someone just knocking them off their lane for whatever reason, it's like throwing matches in a box of dynamite. Do not let your emotions become a box of dynamite, because all it takes is a little fire and kaboom, you are fireworks like the 4th of July. So, as I've said, emotions are helpful. They are our defense mechanisms. They serve as an alert system to tell the body that this is an unpleasant environment, this is a beautiful place. When you go to a resort on a beach or some nice ocean ride, when you're out and about, you're like, not necessarily out and about, it's just so hot, even if you just want to go walk a dog. The sun wants you to know is the champion. So guys, in all that I'm saying for now in this video, because I will be talking more about emotions in my upcoming videos. So what I'm trying to say is, it's very important to address issues as they happen. Be present, be cognizant of what a situation, the emotion that a situation brings upon you. It may be little, it may be a lot, but whatever it is, you need to identify and say, what am I feeling about this? Because you will know in the instant why your neutral state should be happy. when there's nothing happening, you should just smile, please. If happy or smiling face is not your neutral state, it's important you make it your neutral state. Okay, guys? So, your neutral state is smile. You know, nothing's happening. If someone walks in with a horrible perfume, ugh. Now, they do say that emotions belie the actual intent. Or is it the other way around? Anyway, the point I'm making is sometimes if you look at a situation, you have to identify what you are thinking. Remember, thoughts generate feelings, and feelings generate behavior. The problem is we usually don't realize what we're thinking because the emotion is so almost instantaneous. So because the emotion is usually instantaneous, it's almost like we never thought. But here's the thing. Emotions solve your solution without taking cognizance of what is happening. Why? Because it just has a pre-run program of what to do when you are angry, even though the situation does not require a certain response. It's considered rude when you make a face at people, whether you don't like how they look or how they smell. It's still rude. So how do you stop yourself? You catch yourself. Catch it, stop it, change it. If you remember that previous video, yes. Now guys, I know it's not easy, but it's not difficult either. All you need to do is be present, have a calm mind, and exercise caution. Think before you act. Sometimes when people say think before you act, I say think before you feel. Okay? And it's not to say that your thoughts didn't generate the feeling, it's just that you were not alert. You were unconscious of your thoughts. So if anything, be conscious of your thought before you act on the emotion. Okay? A happens to B. So check out for A before B initiates C. So guys, on my next video, I'm going to be talking about Ackerman's Atlas of Emotions, Dr. Ackerman's Atlas of Emotions. You know, we have, according to him, about 5 to 7, but I'm going to be talking about 5 major categories of emotions. We have anger, enjoyment or happiness, fear or disgust, and sadness. Okay? Now, one interesting factor to remember is because your emotions help you to manage discomfort or enjoyment, you have to be sure that you are using the appropriate emotion for the appropriate action. Okay? Feelings create behaviors. Emotions create behaviors. Feelings create actions. Whatever you do, make sure that you have checked in with yourself. And I know it might feel weird to just have a 5-second pause when things are like flying across your mind. Be calm. The Dalai Lama says a calm mind helps you identify what you are going through. And destroyers of a calm mind is fear, greed, anger, over-ambition. He knows what he was talking about. So guys, I hope I've been able to help you, but we'll be talking more on in upcoming videos. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Share with your friends. I'm sure there's someone you know who needs to manage their anger. Okay? And now I might just give a little hint about what anger management really constitutes. Someone who is viciously angry almost all the time, it simply means that they lack the emotional maturity to place cause and effect. So everything just lights them up like a fuse. Okay? So guys, let me know what you think in the comment. Don't forget to subscribe, look out for my other videos, my new videos, and check out my previous videos on your therapist online sessions. Please take care of your health and your mental well-being, and I will see you in the next video. Until then,